Hey everyone, it is Eric Goins from Flywheel Studio here. We are on our third video for Shipaton, and I'm going through my application. I'm going to show you exactly how we designed it, exactly how we came up with the idea, and a little bit about the idea and the data and science behind it. In another video, we'll go through development and more on design. This is just the introduction. Okay, so bear with me. First off, my app is called Usroll, okay? And so in the previous video, I talked to you about research and how we kind of think about coming up with these ideas for applications. We're looking for a TikTok app, okay? That's not an app for TikTok. It has nothing really to do with TikTok, but I want something that's gonna really show up and be super simple for a user to understand the value proposition, get time to value in the app. It needs to look so cool. And I want that to be as simple and as fast as possible. You also should remember one of the other things I wanted it to be human. I want it to be present. I want it to bring us together. I think today, right now, we kind of need that more than ever. We don't need something that's going to be another AI thing that just is you and your phone. I want this to be like you and your friends or you and your family. So that was another important thing. So the idea for Usroll is it combines this aspect of a digital camera, Polaroid, and an event, all right? And basically you're creating a group of people and you get 30 photos across that group of people, okay? And the idea is that you have to be together physically for this to work, okay? So you cannot add somebody who is not actually standing next to you. All right. This could be like a birthday party. It could be a night out with friends. It could be a graduation. It could be a dinner at a restaurant. It could be a brunch. It doesn't really matter exactly what it is. You all get 30 photos total, and you do not see any of the pictures until the next day. A few reasons for this. One is we don't want any posing, right? We don't want any of these like perfect pictures. The picture is what the picture is, and you're probably not, if we limit it to 30 pictures, you're not going to waste your photos trying to get that perfect one. It's not about you. It's about the group, right? You're also not taking photos for yourself. You're taking photos for the group. So again, it's bringing this whole group thing together. The photos are locked. You can't even tell if you took a good photo until the next day when the photo album is developed, okay? The first thing I did here is I wrote a huge spec for the product, okay? I wrote a big spec, and what I did is that spec has all of the requirements, the technology I wanted to use. We'll go through that in the next video. It had everything I was thinking about kind of worked out already with Claude, and it had those requirements so that Claude Design, what I'm using to design this, knew what to start with, okay? I gave it some design direction. I gave it some things about what I wanted, didn't want, and did not want. And in particular, a lot about the rules for how the application works. I don't rely on Claude necessarily to think through all of those things. You, as the developer or the designer or owner of the application, you have to understand that logic and some of those things of like, should the camera roll develop when everyone leaves? Should it be the next day? Well, what time the next day? Is it locked? What if you are still together the next day? 9 a.m. might be not late enough for some people. What if you're going on a road trip and, and this is, are you going to do one every day? There's some pros and cons to each approach. And so you have to think through that and kind of think through what you want your application to look and feel like, and then go through the process of designing it. So let's go through these designs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about the technology in the next video. Okay. First off, for simplicity's sake, I am only making this for iOS. I know it's controversial. Some people are going to hate that idea. They're going to say, oh, you should have used Flutter. We are a FlutterFlow agency. We build a lot of apps on Flutter at Flywheel Studio. I could have used Expo and React Native. I just am building this mostly for myself and my friends. We're all on iOS. There's no reason to overcomplicate this. I want to just use a simple Swift application, okay? So that also really simplified sign up and sign in. I'm just using Apple, sign up and sign in. Very simple. I don't need this whole email thing. I can pre-fill how your frames get credited with your name. And then we ask for your location to know whether you are with this group of friends. We want to make sure you're together. It's one of those forcing functions that makes the app kind of cool. Okay. Then you can go create a roll. All right. That's a roll of film. You get that 30 frames and you can add people to that roll. Okay. When you take your pictures, you will not see them until they publish the next day. Lastly, this is a Revenue Cat Shipathon challenge. So we have a hard paywall for this. Okay. I ended up using this paywall on the left-hand side here. It has a monthly, weekly, and weekend pass for payments. Okay. Those are the ones that we're going with. It has a cool photo. I pulled this from Unsplash. It is a free photo, really to kind of show people what the vibe is. So when you are going to go create a role, you will see this. Now, anyone can join a role for free. Only the creator is going to pay. So maybe you have an amazing friend, they'll pay, and then you'll always be with them. Fine, that works for us. But one of the cool things about this app is that we are bringing groups of people in. And by default, when you are being invited in, you did not pay for the application, which is amazing because what that means is you don't have any incentive to not use it. Okay. You aren't seeing a paywall when you join to go use this role. All right. So that's the intake. Now, if you have a good time and you really like using this, maybe another time when you go out with your friends, you will want to use it again. And that's how the application spreads, right? We still want payments. We have to support the app. We're a business and we're not running a charity. I don't want to pay to run this for everyone in the entire world. But at the same time, I want this to be able to grow. So by not charging a new user to come into the application and join a role is a great way to get this dispersed to a wider audience. In the next video, we're going to go through technology and I'll tell you exactly how we built this and I'll show you some of the things behind the scenes.